week I posted my out of the theater reaction to The Little Mermaid, and then I foolishly decided to go into the comments section.
I've made a huge mistake.
Where things were pretty wild. So today I'm gonna stop and react to your comments about The Little Mermaid. First up, obviously paid promotion. Now this one's kind of funny for several different reasons. First off, if you've seen the video, there was 3 of us in it and none of us were like crazy about the movie. All of us were kind of mixed positive. We had fun with it, but there's a lot of flaws. So the suggestion that all of us were paid by Disney to give very lukewarm, one of them borderline negative reviews for the film is kind of hilarious and makes absolutely no sense.
Good one.
Other thing about this, I know the internet loves to speculate about whether critics are paid by studios to give positive reviews. I know my checks haven't been arriving in the mail. I haven't gotten any of these checks or been contacted about getting one of these Disney checks. But even if you stop and think about it for just a second, that hundreds of critics out there don't have enough integrity to turn away money to give a positive review. No integrity, but none of these hundreds of people would, to promote themselves or be the whistleblower, also go and leak this to the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, or whatever. Hundreds of people are compromised. None of them want the fame of being the person to take down Disney and their paid reviews. There's a big, gigantic gap in the logic here. Shill, no regular person would be getting so hyped. Okay, this is actually a person that I know on the internet. He's kind of messing around.
He's kidding.
But those comments are what many of us get all the time. Anytime we're positive about a Disney project, even if we list a bunch of negatives, even if we were critical of other Disney projects, as soon as you're positive about any one Disney project, in particular ones that the internet has decided to dogpile on, immediately you get the comments, "You're a shill, you're a shill." Pretty sure this guy's just messing with me since I met him at MegaCon a couple months back, but this is very much par for the course for discussion whenever Disney comes up. I saw it. Writers made her dumb as a rock. Why? Well, if you go back and you watch the actual animated film, she's pretty dumb in that one too. She doesn't know what forks are.
Very, very unusual.
What? What is it?
It's a dingle hopper.
She's very naive. That's kind of baked into the Ariel character, is that she's just naive, excited about this other world that she wants to explore. So I don't know that they changed her character in any way to make her dumber than before or anything like that. So I don't know exactly what you're referring to. I find it absolutely hilarious that a bunch of grown men are talking so seriously about a live action The Little Mermaid for some reason. Come on now. This is literally what I do for a living. I talk about movies for a living. I don't have a different job. It's just this. I was invited to a press screening, as were the people I was with, because we are movie critics. And a new movie from a major studio is coming out, and thus we went to go see it, and yes, we take our job seriously. And it's not like if you watch our out of the theater reaction, we're like, you know, this was a thematically rich film really exploring the experience of the mermaids and the segregation between the water and the sea. It's a brilliant like, we're not doing that crap. We're literally like, yeah, she's charming. Water effects suck. New songs, not as good as the old song. Like, what, taking it serious? Like, what exactly do you even mean by that besides grown men are reviewing a movie? Also, I have 2 daughters. Like, that are under the age of 10. I have 3 kids that are in elementary school, but only for a day and a half longer because my son graduates from elementary school tomorrow and I will have a middle schooler and thus officially be all grown up. But like, I have kids. So I go watch it seriously as a dad to see, is this something I want to take my daughters to go see? So like, what even is the suggestion here? Oh, it's hilarious that someone is doing their job.
You serious?
In other words, it's a Disney live-action remake, but slightly better. Yeah, Yeah, that's probably true. It has a lot of the same issues as other Disney live action remakes where for some reason they just felt like they needed to bloat out the runtime. You already had a classic, but now it's 50 minutes longer, or in the case of this movie, 50% longer telling the exact same story. Like, yeah, I mean, it has that problem. It also has the problem of adding new songs that just feel very weird and foreign when you've been watching the original version with the set of songs your whole life, and then suddenly you're jumping into the other thing. It stands out. It doesn't fit in because it's so unexpected, and it hasn't been tested by time the way all of the other songs have. And then it has the same issue as like the Lion King remake, where Ariel's friends are a crab, a fish, and a bird. And if you do photorealistic CGI crabs, fish, and birds, they don't emote. And that very much hurts this film. So basically the parts that are like the cartoons are good and the new original stuff sucks. Sounds like Disney in a nutshell. I don't think I would phrase it that way. Some of the people that I did my out of the theater reaction with, they kind of phrased it that way. I think even some of the original stuff doesn't work great because the underwater sequences, they didn't crack the code. They didn't figure out how to do that right. In which case, the whole first 40% of the movie, it's all underwater and it doesn't look good. And you have Ariel interacting with these photorealistic animals, creatures that can't emote. And I think that perpetually holds things back. You can't connect with it the way that you want because of that. So as soon as you get to the shore, it gets better. And a lot of the stuff on the shore, they expand on the romance. There's new things in there that I think add to the film. So I wouldn't say it is simply put as old stuff good, new stuff bad. Some of the new stuff here I think actually kind of works. The new songs, I do not think work. Disney Plus it is. And I'd say that's fair. That unless, if you're like me, and you've got kids that are the target age to see Little Mermaid, like, these Renaissance films are the movie of my childhood. And taking my kids to see these new versions on the big screen, it's cool. Sometimes it's just about that experience of getting to take them to a movie that I saw the other version of it when I was their age. There's something special about that as a parent. But if you don't want to pay the movie ticket prices, if you don't have kind of that generational sort of experience with these Renaissance films, just wait for Disney Plus. Bad woke garbage. Might watch if not giving a stream or purchase. So I think some words were left out there, but stop and think about what was just said. Bad woke garbage. All right, review of the film. His analysis of the film, it's been judged. Bad woke garbage. Might watch. Which means hasn't been watched. You have prejudged the film. You already have a preconceived notion of what the movie is, that it's garbage. Therefore, you don't want to go watch it. But even on that point, you also said you might watch it. Like, oh, I'm not going to go pay to go watch it, but if I can like stream it for free, I might watch it then. Well, if you actually think it's garbage, why would you ever watch it if you really believe that? The Little Woke Maid. Mildly clever play on words, but I don't know if it's actually that clever. But I obviously this is the big word the internet loves to slap on a bunch of projects. Woke. It's a useless term at this point in time, other than to get a bunch of people to high five each other. Whatever you're trying to communicate when you say the Little Woke Maid might mean something wildly different to anyone besides you. Because you didn't say what your issue with it is, you just used a buzzword that's been so overused. And in the case of this word, as soon as you say this movie is woke, there's a group of people that want to high five you, and everyone else goes, ugh, rolls their eyes and walks off. You've shut down the conversation. They're not listening to you anymore. So even if you have some sort of valid issue with the film, concern about what Disney's doing, by using the word, you've turned everyone away that potentially you need to convince. Everyone that already agrees with you gave you a high five. Everyone else that maybe there's a useful conversation to be had there. Maybe. But even as I'm saying this, some people will take that as I'm defending the people that use the word woke, because that's how like inflammatory the word is. And if you use a word that immediately burns the conversation to the ground, it's no longer useful. You're not making your point. You're not communicating an idea. You're just creating a fire. So if you have an issue with this film, don't use a buzzword to just slap it on there, high five your buddies that agree with you. No, make an actual argument. Why are you calling it woke, and why? What is the actual issue? Because I assure you, as soon as you use that word, a ton of people are making a bunch of assumptions about you because you didn't actually say what your issue is. There's not enough people talking with people that they disagree with, finding common ground to understand actual other people's perspectives, each of us growing, changing, compromising. We need to do more of that, not use words that just immediately polarize people to opposite directions. I'm scared about this because I don't like who is playing Ariel. I don't know if you're referring to her skin color or if you're referring to the actress singer in general. All I can say, someone that's seen the movie, she's not the problem with the film. There's many issues with this film. She is very good at it. She's a great singer, but also she's able to emote the way that Ariel is. Even when she's not able to talk, she's able to communicate her excitement, her emotions, even her naive energy, her curiosity. She can do that through her eyes. She's got a great smile. For this specific part, she does a great job. I know there's a bigger issue going on here that the internet has had a lot to say about, so let's move on to some other comments. Disney, you have to say Haley was perfect, but you can criticize everything else. Like, I know you're kind of joking there, but I know at some point in time there's a truth that you think that's kind of what's going on. That Disney actually gives us talking points to say in reviews, which definitely did not happen. And the idea that a studio would be like, hey, you can say whatever you want, criticize our movie however you want, just don't criticize the lead actress. The idea that Disney would say that is kind of nonsense. It's a weird accusation to make that Disney has done that. But I, of course, know what you're talking about, that they race swapped Ariel. That is the hot button issue about this movie that the internet has been lit on fire about. What can I say to that point? If you have issues with Disney and the director and the producers deciding to race swap Ariel as well as multiple other characters in the film, that's an issue with Disney. It doesn't mean that Haley gave a bad performance. She didn't. She simply didn't. She plays Ariel really well. If you got problems with the other stuff, that is a separate issue from her performance. People are genuinely terrified to criticize Haley, and we all know why. That's not true. If I had something negative to say about her performance, I would say that. As for like the race swapping, I think that Disney's been fairly kind of disingenuous about what they're doing, and they're acting like surprised that people are upset that they changed something about a character. That's dishonest, and implying that that's entirely racially motivated, it's disingenuous. There's a long history of whenever a popular character is adapted into film, if a characteristic about them is changed, people are unhappy. Back in 1988, when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, fans were furious because he was too short. When Daniel Craig was cast as James Bond, they were furious because of his hair color and his eyes or something like that. There's a long history of fans having a purist mentality about characters. And so suggesting that the only motivator for why people would be like, well, you changed something, is that they're a racist is dishonest. Are there racists out there? Yes. Are there people who are racist in terms of this film and this casting? Yes, of course there are. But suggesting that everyone doing that's disingenuous. And because we have kind of this very volatile internet environment where everything has to be polarized, you've got one group of people, if you praise her, it's because you're a woke, paid-off critic. If you criticize her, it's because you're a racist. That's outrageous. Both of these are outrageous. Many of us just want to watch a movie. And in my case, I want to take my daughters to a movie and have a nice nostalgia fest for me, have a great time with them, and enjoy a film. It's not going to live up to the original, but it's a cool experience, and I'm just not wrapped up in all the arguing, nonsensical politics of the internet. Honestly, before this movie started, the two guys that I was with, we were talking about, oh man, I'm not looking forward to posting my review for this one, because no matter what, someone's coming after you. Someone's going to be angry with you, and that sucks. We started doing this because we like to talk about movies, and we love movies, and we love to talk about movies with other people and share our ideas out there. And it sucks when you have a movie that's supposed to be kind of like this playful tale for the whole family, and you can't even talk about it without fear of being labeled racist, sexist, woke idiot, moron, shill, paid for. Like, that's frustrating. Be normal in the comment section. Treat people with respect. Pause and understand, like, try to understand where they're actually coming from. Don't fill in the gaps. Don't create conspiracy theories about everyone that you meet. We're all here because we love movies. And we have different experiences with those movies, and that's okay. And we have different criteria under which what we're sensitive to and not sensitive to when it comes to these films. Respect one another, please. If you enjoyed this video, I did more like this actually just last week. You can check them out right over there. Also, my full review for this movie will be coming out tomorrow. I delayed posting it because I'm seeing it a second time tonight, and I'm going to be able to take this time my two daughters and one of my daughter's friends, and so I'm hoping to kind of get their reaction to the film and build that into my review, so you actually hear from elementary age girls about this film. So I think that'll add an interesting perspective. Thanks so much for watching, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.